Hello everyone. Today we're gonna learn about the in this lab, a sign called Roman daily life was supposed to appear right here, but there it is. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about the Roman daily life. First of all, Rome had about 1 million people living in it, and actually had problems just like our modern world. Too little housing, polluted air, crime in the streets, and the cost of living was high, and most Romans can't find jobs and had to pay taxes on almost everything. There were lots of poor compared to the rich, so that there were 20 islands or apartments for the poor for one private house. By now, you guys are probably thinking, what in the world is an island? Well, islands were apartments for the poor, and they were 6 or more stories high. Now, let's talk about the rich. The rich people had private houses called a domus. A domus had marble walls, colored stone floors, and windows made of small panes of glass. They were capable of most of the modern houses, such as furnaces heating the houses and pipes that let water run even to the upper floors. The father was the head of the household. His word was law, and he arranged his children's marriages to improve social position or wealth. Okay, let's talk about education in Rome. Education in Rome was actually pretty different from the ones we have right now. Rich or poor, boys or girls, they all went to school together until the age of 12. In those schools, they used boards with wax spread over it to write on. They scratched on it to write and smoothed it out with the flat end of a wooden stick to erase. They also used scrolls as what are the books in the modern world. They wrote on it with a pen made out of small reeds and dabbed it into ink, which was a mixture of soot, pitch, and the black ink from octopuses. Now, when they reached the age of 12, the poor kids went to work to help out their families, while the rich went to their formal education. They learned reading, grammar, writing, music, geometry, commercial arithmetic, and shorthand. When they were 15, they entered a school of rhetoric, or speech and writing. Some even went to Athens or Alexandria to learn philosophy and medicine. Girls got a different type of education. When they were 12, their formal education stops and they are given private lessons at home. This resulted in Roman girls being more informed than the boys. Women then went to work in small shops, and the wealthy women enslaved people to do their work, which resulted in Roman women getting to do more things than the poor or rich men. Okay, I think you have enough of education in Rome. Yeah, probably. So, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, there are lots of activities in Rome. I think that as soon as a person hears the word Rome, they think about baths in a second. And they're right. Roman bathhouses are very famous, probably because of their sizes and varieties of the baths. There were hot baths, warm baths, cold baths, which is pretty much like pools, and they even have saunas. The hot baths and saunas were heated by steam, which was created by slaves heating a pot filled with water that is connected to a tube that brings the hot water vapor to the baths and saunas. Most of the times, the warm baths are used to cool down after the hot baths, and the cold bath is for cooling down after the warm baths. But there are lots more you could do in Roman bathhouses. Some even had libraries, gymnasiums, and a place to listen to musicians. They even had sports stadiums. Talking about sports stadiums, there are no team sports in Rome. Instead, there are the gladiatorial games and chariot races. First, let's talk about the chariot races. Chariot races are when charioteers are riding on a cart with wheels and horses are pulling him as well as the cart. The ropes connect to the horse and wrap around the charioteer's waist. If the cart crashes, the charioteers cut the ropes attached to their waist so that they won't get dragged by the horses. Chariot races were held in circuses or stadiums for the chariot races. The largest one, Circus Maximus, held more than 200,000 people. Now, let's talk about the gladiatorial games. The gladiatorial games were when a pair of gladiators, or people who fought in these games, fought each other with swords, shields, light shields, daggers, spears, and they even used nets. Most gladiators were enslaved people, prisoners of war, criminals, or poor people. Even some rich people fought for the excitement and public attention. On the day before the gladiators fought, they went to feast. There, they could be looked over by their fans or gamblers. When it becomes the day of the battle, the gladiators who will fight will walk past the emperor's box and say, "Hail, Emperor! Those who are about to die salute you." Many gladiators did die, and even those who won the battle might be killed for poor performance. Gladiators that their fight pleased the people became the people's idols, and rarely those gladiators won their freedom. Also, it was not just the humans that were used for the battles. Animals fought each other or fought against gladiators. Sometimes more than 5,000 animals were killed, and this brought many animals to be endangered and two to be extinct: the North African elephant and the European lion. Legend says that this brutal combat was brought to a halt by a monk, Telemachus. In 404 AD, he ran into the arena and tried to separate the two gladiators. Guards killed him, but Emperor Honorius canceled the gladiatorial contest. I'm sure you learned lots from this video. Well, maybe not because you guys are doing the same project, but anyways, I have a quiz for you. So take a look at that. If you liked the video, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.